Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Magic in the Midwest podcast. I am J.B. Michaels, USA Today best-selling author of many books, including The Swedish Day Swindle, which is a summer festival-themed book.
You guys had read it in like 4 hours the other day.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I loved it. It's my favorite book of yours so far.
Really? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Favorite book out of all the books. Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's good.
It's really
good. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please check out the books. I'm J.B. Michaels, USA Today bestselling author. This is Ashley Michaels, the person who is just talking, but you guys should probably know that by now.
Hello.
It is the 12th episode
but
of
maybe
Magic.
People are starting out with this
one.
Welcome.
And
then they're going to make the way through all of them because they're all great.
Right.
You're just going to love us. You're going to fall in love.
And you're going to want to subscribe to Magic in the Midwest podcast.
Why is that?
.bandcamp.com because if you subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, you're basically getting double the episodes. And we want a big shout out right now to our new subscriber, Josh. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Josh. For subscribing to them.
You made a great decision.
You did. Magic in the Midwest podcast.bandcamp.com. Subscribe for as little as $3 a month, ladies and gentlemen.
Or if you want to subscribe for more,
right,
you can.
Right,
I don't know, a couple thousand.
Yeah, a couple 2-3 mil is fine with us.
Per month.
Per month. Thank you. So yeah. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a free book of mine, go to mrmichaels.com. MISTER Michaels.com, and you can get a fun read.
What's the free book currently?
The current free book is The Ancient Order.
Ooh, it's
which
a good
is
one.
A really, really intense, rather, academic, sort of novel. It's got some history involved. A lot of research went into that one. All right, yeah. It's short, but it's awesome.
It's intense.
Yeah.
JB writes intense books. Isn't anybody surprised?
Right, it's intensity. It's intensity all the way.
He's intensity.
Right. Gotta have energy. And enthusiasm.
I prefer not to have
for
any.
life.
I like to just
be a sloth.
Yeah, I do.
You do not. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all those who subscribe, and for those of you that are listening right now. It does help a lot, and we're the podcast listenership is growing.
It is.
So thank you for those who are sharing the podcast and saying that it they love listening to it. So that really helps us try to put a little positive into the world.
We are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Positive energy, good vibes. That's all you can do really. At the end of the day, is be positive, and
kind
and helpful. And,
yep.
Yeah. So take action. Put some good out there. So we are finally, after 12 episodes. 11, sorry, you're right. This is the 12th. Going to talk about Epcot Center.
Yep.
Which is no longer called Epcot Center, but it was for years. It was officially called Epcot Center. And then they changed it just to Epcot, I think around the millennium or so.
Really?
Ash, do you know what Epcot stands for?
Every time you ask me, I forget.
Experimental
Prototype
Community.
Oh, wait, community. Wait, I don't know how to spell it. Yeah, prototype
I'm not asking you to spell it.
No, I'm trying to think of every letter and what it could stand for. That's why I'm saying I have to know how to I'm thinking of it as I go.
Yes,
Don't
act
acronym.
Like
that's really stupid.
It's called an acronym. Not...
Well, I know what it's called, but I'm trying to think. Man, I just want to... Okay, well, how far do we get so far? Energy?
Experimental.
No, experimental.
Prototype.
Community of tomorrow.
Yes, correct. Correct. So, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, Epcot Center opened in 1982. It is just it's a unique park, and we've said this many times on this podcast that there are just things that are just unique to Disney and that you have to check out. it is sort of amazing to me.
Sorry.
It is sort of amazing. Will you stop fixing my shirt? And no one can see us. It's an audio
I
podcast.
can see you.
Oh my gosh. So it is kind of amazing that it exists. I mean, it's a very unique, strange sort of theme park. Like, there's nothing like it in the world.
Wasn't the original vision to actually have people live there?
Walt's original vision was a actual community, and I think later in life, people sort of kind of said, "Walt, that would be really hard to pull off, right? To actually do a community of, and because with communities you have community problems, right? And I think Walt thought maybe he could create some sort of utopian city, but that just didn't work. He I think he did actually himself scale back that idea as he went on, but his original intent, yes, was to have a big community area, and he wanted corporate sponsorship to basically GE to power the city, and General Motors to provide the transportation, and he had a whole thought out.
It's a cool idea.
It is cool. And of course it didn't, Walt would pass away, and he really did, his focus at the time of his passing, right before he got really sick with lung cancer, he was saying, looking forward to Epcot. He wanted to make sure Epcot happened in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So the company would go back to Walt's plans for Epcot and build the theme park, which would be the second theme park in Walt Disney World, Florida. It was very expensive to build. It went way over budget.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at a time when Disney Company was in trouble. So it opened and then people didn't really come to Epcot,
Yeah.
I don't think people really understood Epcot. But the people who did go, obviously now Epcot's, very popular.
Oh, yeah.
And for years it was the second most popular theme park. But I think that has since been replaced by Animal Kingdom. It's Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So, but Epcot is still fantastic. It is probably one of the most, it's very open. It's very big.
Yep.
It can fit a lot of people in it. It's double the size of Magic Kingdom, if not more than that.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's a very big park. And it is just amazing. It's comprised of two major sections, and it basically is shaped like a figure eight.
Yeah.
There are two circles, so you've got Future World, and then of course, with the big golf ball, or people, we know it as Spaceship Earth, but people refer to it as the golf ball. Mm-hmm. Their big ball, or whatever it is, or as you like to call it, ball ride. The ball ride. Ball ride.
Very technical term.
Yeah, it's a very technical term, ball ride. And then of course we've got World Showcase, which is sort of a permanent World's Fair type of section of a theme park, which is just, it's just so cool. So cool. I think Walt obviously loved World's Fairs. His dad actually helped build the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. He participated in World's Fairs, obviously 64 New York World's Fair being big and creating some of, enduring attractions that we know and love and we've talked about on this podcast before. So Epcot is unique. It's awesome. It had its own music, which I always refer to in the beginning of each podcast.
Yep.
The Interventions area, Muzak, or some people like to call it, or is it really music, or is it just you know what I mean? I think it is. I just call it music. I don't know. Not really. Some people are like, oh, it's elevator music, or
music.
I don't know. I think it's just great. So anyway, so Epcot. Today we're going to try and focus for the most part, on Future World. Treat it as two different parks, because it really is two different parks, honestly. And Future World is where we're going to start. So, Ash, do you want to go straight into... Well, first off, just give us your overall thoughts of Epcot.
Epcot, for me, JB and I both claim, and I think it's true, that we're Magic Kingdom people, and we are. But every time I go into Epcot, I'm always a little torn. I'm like, oh, I really like it so much here.
Yeah.
It easily is neck and neck with Magic Kingdom for me. I love Epcot and all that it has to offer. It's a totally different feel than Magic Kingdom. And the other parks too, but I love that was the second park that they built, and it really is just a totally different vibe there. I love our time in Epcot. I feel like it's a little bit more relaxing. It's a little bit more, wide open spaces, obviously jammed with people, but even when Epcot is really busy, it feels more open. And, I know we're not talking about World Showcase today, but that's one of my favorite places to be. There's so much to experience there, different restaurants, different shops, and lots of culture. It's a really cool place. I know for locals, it's like the locals park, because there's just so much to do, in terms of, that's not just necessarily rides. Like the dining and World Showcase is just awesome by itself.
Yes.
So,
yes,
yeah,
it is.
I just, there's not a park I don't like, but
I agree.
Epcot's amazing.
Yes, Epcot is really, really unique. And it's interesting that you say we're Magic Kingdom people, but Disney doesn't like that. Disney is pouring a bunch of money as we speak. Well, not really as we speak. They're kind of stalling that a little bit. But Epcot is getting a total revamp, renewal, like total overhaul.
Which I think it needs in certain areas.
Yes. Epcot really did need some love. Future World was not very futuristic for a very long time. It did really need some help. So right now, as we speak, Epcot is going to get a lot of cash infused into it. And of course, when we get to that point and we go there and we can speak to the new additions, we'll come back and revisit it. But it's interesting you say Magic Kingdom, because Eisner, the original idea of Epcot was absolutely, positively no Disney characters, no Disney anything. They wanted Epcot to stand on its own, being about education and science and technology, and
which I support
that
vision a little more than what our current.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that next time.
Another one
next
of Ash's
time.
rants,
we'll have
coming.
Yeah, an Ash rant is coming. Eisner came in, and people were not really going to Epcot that much, and Eisner's like, you know what, we need to get characters in Epcot. Get them into Future World. Get them in there, and let's start trying to attract more people to Epcot. So they did. They put Mickey and Minnie in like spacesuits, and Goofy and Donald and Pluto, the Fab Five, and got them into spacesuits, and they went into Epcot and had like character breakfasts and things like that at different spots in Future World.
I support that type of thing.
Right.
I think there's a line for me.
Right.
Right. Yeah, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, so
I'm excited for my rant that's coming.
Yeah, that's it next time. Yeah. Next podcast. Tune in. Not really tune in, but download. Okay, so the initial original vision for Epcot was not really to make it Disney, and now there's an even greater push by Disney, the company, to get more characters into the parks, including World Showcase, which the new Epcot, which will be called Harmonious, the new Epcot show, will feature a bunch of Disney characters. That's a little different from the thesis of the park initially, which was the world, a sort of non-fiction theme park.
Yeah.
If you put it that way, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go right into it. Let's go into Future World. Okay, Ash. What do you think about Spaceship Earth?
The ball ride.
The ball ride. The marquee attraction in Future World. Well, used to be, but I think it still is.
I think it's supposed to be,
right.
Whether you think it actually is anymore or not. I love Spaceship Earth. Oh, I thought you were like telling me I had something to my teeth.
No.
Okay. When we went on it the first time, I think I went on it as a kid, but when you and I went on it the first time together, my first actual thought as you're going backwards through the ride and there's all those twinks was, can we get married on this ride?
That's funny.
But I like it. I mean, I know that they're updating it now, but
yeah. I think they're doing too much to it.
I like the history of
yeah.
it. I think that's really cool. The animatronics and going through everything is, and I love Judi Dench that she narrates it. I know that's going away.
That's going away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the things I like are going away. But
yeah.
no, I really like it. I think it's really cool that, you think about other, the castle doesn't have an attraction, like a ride in it. Neither does the Tree of Life. Neither does...
No, Tree of Life has an attraction in it.
Well, I know, but it's not a ride.
It's not a ride, no.
It's kind of cool that Epcot has this... What's that? What would you consider
the icon?
The icon
of the park
has a really cool ride inside of it. That's really neat.
It does. It is really neat, and the ride goes in a circular track. It's a cool situation.
I always love getting on Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, Spaceship Earth. I'm the same. I love Spaceship Earth. They're being a history teacher myself. It's the history of communications. Mm-hmm. And it starts all the way with early man and goes all the way to present day. And it offers hope, right? It's it's a message that is hopeful about mankind, not, just the vitriol of today, right? And the hope that communication, which is odd, right? Because we are more connected today than ever, and it feels bad. It doesn't feel super good.
It does.
But hopefully that the communication history will it's basically just offers a hopeful look at the future, through the past. And it's a really awesome attraction. I mean, I love it. There's so many cool things. It goes from the early man to Egypt to, it's just, it goes to Greece, to Rome, to, the Middle East. I mean, it's amazing. It's a really cool ride.
It was arguably, I think, the first ride you and I went on together. I know we went to Epcot our first day.
Oh, it probably is.
But I remember being on the ride and being really blown away by the level of detail.
Yeah.
On the ride. And
yes.
I kind of came to really appreciate
Disney.
Everything that Disney was because of
right.
The level of detail and stuff that they put into everything. So
right.
That was like my first impression as an adult of.
Well, and you know what
attraction.
else? Disney. It also gives you sort of the inclusive nature of Disney, that this ride is a marquee attraction. And it doesn't need to be a thrill ride. It doesn't need to be you have to be a certain requirement, height requirement. It's just a great ride that everyone can experience. And the level of detail is just every scene. There's something cool to look at. It's something new to see. Mm-hmm. I know right now they're going to add a floating narrator or something that they're going to put a light element that follows you throughout the whole thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which I think will be neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spaceship Earth, one of my all-time favorites, if not my all-time, favorite ride in Epcot. I mean, I don't think there's something that beats it. I think
Soarin'?
No. I think that for me personally, Spaceship Earth probably takes it. Yeah. It's a really, really great.
How long
ride.
of a ride is it? It's long.
Spaceship Earth is probably a good 12 to 15 minute ride.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
People also nap on that ride sometimes.
People do fall asleep on it. Yes. Yeah.
I think because it's like soothing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's restful. Yes.
It's also air conditioned.
It's also AC.
And
yes.
dark.
Yes.
It's great.
So yeah,
checks off all the boxes on my list.
So we walked into Epcot from the boardwalk and went straight there. You remember that was the first thing we did?
I don't know if it's the first thing we did, although I would imagine it would have been. I know we went into Epcot. I don't know.
Yeah, because we had time.
But I remember that was my first impression. Like, when I look back at that trip, I remember thinking, after I got off that ride, like, wow, there's so much detail put into every single scene. And,
right.
You know, so
yeah.
I think it was one of the first things we did.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Cool. Love it. Okay, so then, ladies and gentlemen, we have... it was the Universe of Energy is now closed, but it was around and we did experience it. Mm-hmm. Ellen's Energy Adventure.
I don't really remember it super well.
It was a 45-minute long. It's in the Energy Pavilion in Future World East. It was a very long show.
Okay.
Where like it was partially like a huge ultra wide screen, multi-screen experience, and then you went on a little ride through basically learning about different forms of energy.
Yeah.
And it was very educational. And in the 90s, they switched to Ellen because Ellen was really big. She had that successful sitcom on ABC.
Yeah.
And, of course, all the controversy after that. But she was really big at the time, and they, Disney wanted her for attraction because Disney owns ABC, and they did that. But now... it's going to be replaced by Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
That's gonna be great.
Which, if you've seen the building, if you go online and look, guys, the building for this attraction is huge.
What kind of an attraction?
It's a roller coaster.
Oh, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster, which is supposed to be pretty incredible. Apparently the thesis is there's some sort of energy core or some sort of energy system that is left at Epcot, and the kind of the neat thing is Chris Pratt's character Star-Lord apparently went to Epcot as a kid.
Okay.
And is familiar with Epcot and loves Epcot, so like you're gonna have that sort of meta like element to the story, which I think is really kind of neat.
Yeah.
There are some Disney Epcot purists that hate this idea. Like, some people, other podcasters they loathe the idea.
Wait, why?
I don't get why. I think it's pandering or too cute or something. Basically, the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in Epcot and Future World is a problem for some people. Because remember, the original thesis of the park was no characters, no intellectual property.
Yeah, but that's already happened in many other parts of the park.
It has. But I don't know. They just did not want the Guardians there. But it's happening, and I think it'll be really fun and really cool. And I think as long as it still ties into energy in some way, shape, or form, right?
Yeah.
We should be good. I'm sure it'll blend it. It'll be good. And then we have Interventions East, which I'll be honest, Interventions were pavilions that had like interactive exhibits and like computers and stuff. I hardly ever went in there. I don't think I ever did. Maybe once or twice. Yeah. So I can't really speak to that. Then we have Mission Space over at Future World East. What do you think of Mission Space?
I mean, if you want to throw up your lunch, you should go on Mission Space and purge.
Okay, so you're anti-Mission Space.
I don't think, because now they have two versions of the ride,
they
right?
do.
One's more intense and one's less intense.
Yes.
We did the less intense one last time, and I wasn't like super thrilled. The ride is fine. It's just not, I don't know. It's just discomfort for me.
Okay. Basically, like Mission Space is, it has two versions, the orange version and the green version. The green version is much more relaxed. Like they even changed the movie, the experience. Like the orange version, you're just orbiting the Earth. And then the green version, you're taking the green version, you orbit the Earth. The orange version, you go to Mars and you do the whole full experience. And then basically the difference is you're actually spinning in like a centrifuge in the orange version to kind of simulate like the pull, the forces of gravity on you.
You do feel, I mean, we've done that version too, but
yeah, we've done that version. As long as you keep your head forward, like keep your head back and like face forward, you should be okay.
Well, I mean, you should be okay, but I mean, for me, therein lies the rub. Like, I have to say that to myself also when I go on Rock and Roller Coaster, but I'm also having a ton of fun on that ride.
Right.
On Mission Space, I'm sort of like, how much longer does this go?
Yeah, Mission Space.
Some people like it, and whatever. It's just not super enjoyable for me. If I never did it again, it would be fine.
Right. I think it's cool in a way because it is interactive. Like they encourage you to like push the button. I wonder if they're going to do that now with everything. Probably not. But you used to be able to push the buttons and like interact with the ride, which was neat.
Yeah.
Kind of like, there were 4 different roles that you had to fulfill on the ride. And,
think about that with, what's that ride? I'm getting off topic here, but in Galaxy's Edge, where don't you have to do certain things? Not Rise of the Resistance, the other one.
Yeah, Han Solo.
I mean, what were they
Millennium
doing
Falcon,
with everything
Smuggler's
going on
Run.
and...
Yeah, I don't know. You're right.
I don't know.
Let's make you wear gloves, or maybe they sanitize it after each ride.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. What that is. And then, of course, there is over in Future World East, there's Test Track. Okay, what do you think about Test Track, Cash?
Test Track has grown on me over the years. I don't know if they've changed it, but so you design your car, and our son really loves doing that, designing the car, and the computer screens when you're in the queue still, right?
Yes.
When you decide what you want to go for, performance, or all these different things, speed and stuff like that. You can change the color. The ride itself with the testing, I mean, I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I know some people criticized it, but it's kind of cool to compete with the car that you made and stuff like that, and go through the little tests, like with your magic brake really fast, and and then I mean, nothing at the end beats that super fast lap around outside. The only issue is obviously because when we're there, it's the summer and Florida weather, the ride shuts down a lot.
It does because of storms. Yeah, if there's thunderstorms, they're shutting it down.
I mean, it's the fastest ride on property.
It is.
Which, as a side note, our son will not do certain rides that he is tall enough for, like ones that look like roller coasters, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, because he says they're too fast. But
he'll go on
his
Test Track.
His favorite ride is either Haunted Mansion or Test Track.
Yeah.
He loves Test Track. Yeah. So it's just funny.
5-year-old brains. Figure it out, you idiots. Come on. Figure it out. Jeez.
But I mean, it's you're outside, which is cool, right? That's why it gets shut down sometimes. But when you're going that fast outside, I mean, it's cool, especially if you're on it in the evening.
Yes. Right. Oh, yeah. Test Track is fantastic. And I remember going, you probably did it too. But, it's changed. Obviously, the original Test Track was like all about like crash test dummies. And like this huge, like, the queue was this huge, like, garage, right, of like different tests happening and different like things and that were going on, like testing safety wise, which was really neat. And now it's very different. It's very more streamlined, more like technology based, more cleaner in the queue. It's not as busy. Right, you build your car and then you build your car on the touchscreens, which I wonder if that's happening. And then you put your car design into your Magic Band, and then you do that competition. Test Track is one of the most popular rides at Epcot, and it probably, arguably might be the most popular. Well, no, not anymore. We know it's most popular. Yes, we do. All right, so Test Track is great. It's a really fun ride. And like Ash said, you go on that loop. You're basically in a car. You're in an electric car, basically. And we go through a variety of tests in the ride, like heat and cold and bumpy roads and slick roads and inclines, and then you go out to the track and you go 65 miles per hour, and it's really fun. It's awesome. It is really fun. I mean, it's obviously it's a convertible, right? You're not covered.
Yeah.
So you're out in the the air, and just it's really, really fun. So I would definitely check out Test Track if you are there. It's just a blast. And one cool story is when Harrison was like 3.
Oh,
was it 3?
I think it was 3.
He so did not want to get off the ride. He was getting upset. He's like, I want to go again. And the cast member saw him like basically pleading to go again, and he pulled us to the side. And we got to go again.
So cool.
How cool was that? I mean, that was really a nice...
One of those Disney moments.
Yes, that was a really cool Disney moment where we all got to go...
if you want to go on a ride again, throw a fit.
Yeah, throw a fit.
And
as a small child, you might get there.
Only as a small child.
Yeah.
Don't do it as an adult.
Right. So basically, yes, it's one of those things where it was really a cool moment to get back on the ride and go again, because he loved it. Still loves it.
He does. Another thing to note about Test Track too is when you're exiting the ride, you kind of go through. You're in that huge building, and there's so much to look at and do. Just in the exit of. Yeah,
there's a lot of cars you could go hang out in and check out. It
takes a while to actually walk to get out of that building after you're off the ride, but there's a lot to do in there.
Yeah, originally it was the World of Motion ride.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so it was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. Pretty awesome. Okay, so, or is it Horizons? No, maybe Horizons is Mission Space. Okay, so then we head over to Future World West. There's 3 pavilions over there. There's the Seas with Nemo and Friends, which used to be called the Living Seas Pavilion. There's the Land Pavilion, which has Soarin' and Living with the Land, a boat ride, and a movie called Awesome Planet, which is fairly new. And then we have the Imagination Pavilion down on that side as well in Future World West. So let's start with Seas with Nemo and Friends. Ash, what do you think?
It's cute. I don't think it's like the most unique ride of all time. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, it combined like CG, Nemo, and Marlin and Dory, right? In the background is the actual aquarium.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's really cool. To me, it seems like...
it's slight.
A little... If you think about the Little Mermaid ride, what is that called? Journey of the Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but not as good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cute. It's cute. It's something to do that's... I mean, if you like the movie, you'll enjoy it. And I like that the actual aquarium is in the background.
Yeah, it's an omnimover attraction, like Haunted Mansion and other rides. You get into like a seashell, just like in Journey of the Little Mermaid. Mm-hmm. And you go through and kind of experience somewhat the movie of Finding Nemo.
I think I'm going to stick with cute. You're not going to walk out of Epcot and be like, that was my favorite.
No, but it is cute. Yeah, it's nice, and it's actually a cool gateway to get into the aquarium.
Yeah. Everyone is entertained by Dory, and it's fun.
It is. It's cute. It's very cute. It's for little kids, right? I mean, little kids can go on it. It's just fine. And then there's an interactive attraction inside the Seas with Nemo and Friends called Turtle Talk with Crush. Explain what that is, Ash.
So it's, a small, theater, basically. And you go in there, and Crush comes up on this big screen in front of you and essentially interacts with the audience. And a lot of times they'll pull the kids up to the front, but whoever is working, like every time we've done that attraction, it is super funny.
It is.
And
it is.
They do a really good job with it. So, yeah, it's like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and Crush just sort of talks to the audience, and kids get to talk to him. And...
What's cool about it is that, like, it's CG Crush. but it's animated, so there's a person controlling Crush and talking through Crush, so it's like it's a live actor that you're interacting
so every
with.
time you go in there, I mean, it's not like the same, they're really doing a good job.
Yeah,
every time we're in there, we laugh.
Yeah,
Harrison's very shy, so he's not yet wanted to be involved in the conversation. With Crush, yes. But it's
a
funny.
very, very fun, unique attraction. Definitely something to do if you have little kids, or if you just if you love Crush, just experience it. It's really cute. It's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And then of course there's the Living Seas Pavilion, which is awesome. You get to see belugas.
I love it.
Yeah, you see belugas and lots of sharks, and there's sometimes you see the living seas, the divers in there with the fish. It's a neat place. It's a really cool place.
It is.
So then, what else? So then we have, after we have the Seas with Nemo friends, must be the AC. Is it not? I don't know. I'm having issues allergy wise right now. Yeah, something's happening. All right, okay. Maybe it's you. All right, so I'm allergic to you.
Okay. So you should move out.
Okay, and then of course, you leave Seas with Nemo friends, head over into the land, and the land has one of for years was the most popular attraction at Epcot. One of the most popular attractions in all of Disney World, and it was called Soarin'. Ash, give me your thoughts on Soarin'.
I really like Soarin'. I actually, my sister-in-law, or not my sister-in-law, my sister and my brother-in-law, this is their favorite attraction at Disney. It's a really cool, I think a very unique ride system that was, what was it based off of? Like an erector set or something like that they came up with how to do the ride, Jim?
It's a flight simulator. JD? Yeah, flight simulator.
That's not what I asked. But
wait, what did you ask?
Anyway, I said it wasn't the ride, the way it was built. It was based off of an erector set.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But it's really cool. It's a really neat ride, and you kind of get lifted up in these chairs, and like JB said, a flight simulator ride, and it used to be Soarin' Over California, and they changed the video. Now it's
Soarin' Over the World,
which is cool. There's lots of different scents, and it's a really cool ride. For me, I feel like the wait is usually pretty long. With the way the ride has to load and unload, it's not like a continuous loop of you think about Spaceship Earth or something like Haunted Mansion, where people can get on and off the ride, and there's so many ride vehicles and they can just sort of keep going. This ride, it loads, you go through the whole ride experience, and then it has to come back down. Everyone has to get off the ride and get, you know what I mean? It's just the way
it's notoriously the worst line queue ever.
Well, and the line queue is not doesn't have anything. It just doesn't.
Well, they did try to add these interactive game elements to it, with huge screens, but it's still not great. It's just like you're waiting at a giant airport line.
It basically is. That's what it is. Yeah, it's airportish.
It's airportish. Yeah, it's notoriously the worst queue, but one of the great rides.
Oh yeah, and it's thrilling, but also soothing. It's not thrilling because you're being flipped around, and no. It's kind of a neat balance between the two.
Yeah, it's really actually I don't know many people that have gotten sick or ill from the motion simulator aspects of it. It's mostly people who feel good after they get off the ride.
Because my mom struggles with that, and my dad does a little bit too. But they both loved the ride.
Right.
They loved Soarin'.
Yeah, Soarin' Over the World is awesome. There are many people that prefer the older version, Soarin' Over California.
Yeah.
I don't. I actually prefer the new version. It's technically a little shorter than the Soarin' Over California.
Oh, okay. I feel the same about both.
Yeah.
Versions of the ride.
Oh, do you? Oh, you
I don't really feel like I like one over the other. I think they're both good. For me, it's more about how the ride feels.
Yes, exactly. And then, of course, we have Ashley's favorite ride in all of Epcot.
No, I never said that.
Favorite ride, guys. Favorite ride.
No, I'm not committing to that. I really like it, though. This ride does not get enough love.
Living with the Land. Go ahead, Ash.
I just
give us your pitch for Living with the Land. I just like it
because of all the plants. I mean, I think you go. It's like a slow boat ride.
It is.
They do. I don't even really know what the beginning talks about. I don't really pay attention.
The beginning goes through different land types.
Because it's too dark. Like, it's too dark in there. I feel like I can't see what they're showing.
It goes through farmland. It goes through desert, rainforest.
I'm not as much interested in that. What I'm interested in, though, is the
I love that
the
part.
Rooms. Oh, I could just cut that part out. No. Then you go into the section where they actually have like a bunch of plants growing that they actually use on property. They use what they grow on property.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it is really neat. They show you the science. And a lot of what they grow there, they use in the restaurants.
Yeah, it's just super cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a greenhouse, basically.
Scientifically, though, humans do better around living
plants.
Like living plants. So, like, surrounded by these plants. I almost feel like I can breathe better. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so nice and relaxing, and I love plants. I can't keep them alive if I'm growing them myself, but here I'm just,
Ash loves plants.
In a boat looking at someone else grow plants.
Ash is just loves. Yes, she loves this ride.
It's just a cool. I like that they're showing you everything, and then you see there are some people, employees, and they're doing what they need to do to.
Dylan fell asleep.
A lot of people fall asleep. A lot of people think the ride's
like
boring.
We saw Dylan, and he was just totally asleep.
I can't really tell you what it is I like about the ride so much. I like all the plants. I like being surrounded.
No, it's nice.
The plants, and you're on a boat, and it just
something about a boat. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I agree with you. I enjoy Living with the Land. It's a good ride, and very unique. Right, very unique.
I think I have a hidden Mickey on that ride once.
Oh, probably.
Maybe it's just the way the plant was growing.
Right. Lots of cool plants. Lots of different ways to grow things. It's very cool. Sorry, we're not getting very scientific with our review, but we're doing an overview.
I never get scientific.
Okay, so, and then lastly, ladies and gentlemen, and it's kind of bad. We'll talk about it quickly and then wrap this up. But yeah, Journey into Imagination. You leave the land and then you head over to Imagination, which is in Future World West. Journey into Imagination with Figment. What are your thoughts?
We have nieces and nephews that like this ride.
Right. Do they? Okay.
It could be better.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, it is in certain ways.
Okay, here's my take on it. Because the ride is the way it is. I don't understand the whole Figment thing. I think I want to like him. But for me, it's like this original Disney property creation.
Which it used to be different.
Well, I know, but I'm saying my experience is the current ride, and, I'm like, I don't want a Figment plush. I don't want to be reminded of this.
Right.
Now, not to say, like, I want to say again, in case any of our nieces and nephews are listening.
I love Figment.
I love that they love the ride. Harrison really enjoys the ride, and so I love being on it with him or anyone else that enjoys it, because, it's good to see anyone be happy and thrilled on a ride. I think they could do much better. I think Figment deserves better.
Yes. All right, I agree with you. Figment is unique, because Figment is actually a original character created for Epcot.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Which is really cool.
But then
so it used to be Journey to Imagination and had the Dream Finder, and it was a very animatronic heavy attraction. And then they decided to change it, and they took Figment completely out of it and just focused on, like, your senses, your five senses.
Why would they take Figment out?
Imagination. Totally took Figment out. Then they added Figment back in. Okay, and then they overhauled it, and now it's basically just been the same for a very long time. They do need to give that some love. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully it will get better, because it it's a little underwhelming, to say the least, right?
It is.
Yes. So
Figment deserves better.
Yes. Hashtag Figment deserves better. Okay. So, all right. So then, ladies and gentlemen, I think that wraps up our talk about our overview of Future World East and Future World West. And just kind of, we're going to go further in depth into World Showcase next time. Ash, any final thoughts on Epcot?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. Although
okay.
I'm we didn't really talk about dining or anything like that. I don't really know what there is to eat.
There's the garden.
I know there's
there is
the Garden Grill. I know they have that giant Starbucks. We didn't really talk about shopping either, but
we'll get into that stuff later.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's
basically there's two parts to Epcot. There's Future World and World Showcase. Most people, I would imagine, now we could put this on a poll for Instagram this week. Most people probably like World Showcase.
Well, most people like World Showcase. I feel like that's where you see bigger crowds. The walkways are a lot more crowded, and then there's a big group of people in front of Test Track for Future World. So it's like World Showcase, Test Track,
Soarin'.
And then
everything
Spaceship
else.
Earth a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where all the people are.
Yes. Okay, so we'll get a little bit more in depth into Epcot and our discussion of it, of World Showcase next time. But we love Epcot.
Well, I just want to say, too, thanks for hanging with us. JB is suffering from allergies all of a sudden, and I just had a tooth pulled, so we're...
Right. A little rough.
A
little rough go. Okay. So, please, ladies and gentlemen, rate and review us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever you guys, Spotify, wherever you guys listen to the podcast. Please check us out. Maybe subscribe on magicinthemidwestpodcast.bandcamp.com. It's a great place for you to get double the episode. So we usually do attraction smackdowns, resort smackdowns, signature smackdowns. Ash and I kind of go head to head over what we think is better. Mm-hmm. This time it'll be, what are we doing?
I think we're going to pick two attractions in Epcot. I
was
thinking either...
So it'll be an attraction smackdown.
I think it's going to be.
Okay, well...
Yeah,
we'll find out which attraction Ash likes and which one I like better. They're fun, breezy, good times. So please check us out on Instagram, which is Magic in the Midwest Podcast, or Instagram.com/Magic in the Midwest Podcast.
Magic in the Midwest.
Facebook.
And don't forget, you can email us with your thoughts or suggestions for future episodes, or future Smackdowns at magicinthemidwestpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. So please enjoy all of the content. Thank you very much for being here.
Enjoy. You will.
Enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it. No,
whoa,
I'm kidding.
Whoa,
I'm sorry.
It's the allergies talking.
The bad guy. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, from the Midwest, see you later.